a lot of women don't understand that a man's leadership and his like penetrative warrior aspect is not always going to be palatable to her. It's not always going to fit into the boxes and conditions of her preferences. And oftentimes it will be extremely uncomfortable. But if you refuse to receive him in that, if it doesn't fit into what's comfortable in your body, you are actually not receiving him fully as a man. And over time, a man is, I would say, ultimately less inclined to, feel a deep sense of safety in his primality with a woman like that. And so he will either withhold, or he'll become resentful, or he'll, just not bring all of himself into the space. And so there's an art form for women, like really learning how to receive this in their man, even when it's super uncomfortable. Like he said, even when it's cutting, even when it calls her shadow out really intensely, like to be able to receive a man. And that is almost crucial to a relationship being able to thrive in an integrated way, meaning not just all love and light and beauty and devotion and softness, but depth and passion and polarity and intimacy is really like, it necessitates a woman being able to receive this aspect of a man. And we kind of have a funny story about this while we're talking about this aspect. There was a moment between us where we were learning how to like navigate through a lot of different aspects in our dynamic. And I would say I was practicing receiving some of these edgier aspects of him that I wanted and that I was calling forward and invoking or evoking in the space because I could feel them under the surface. And the deeper aspects of me, my womb, my soul, were wanting those deeper aspects of him to come forward. But of course, that's not always going to be a comfortable thing for me as a woman when they actually come forward. And there was a moment where I would say I was in a like provoking kind of energy with him, trying to bring some of that out. And also in some of my own, shadow aspects of like trying to control or not feeling safe to fully surrender. I can do this on my own kind of thing. And there was a moment where we were in sort of a bit of a conflict within all of those pieces. And I kept insisting to him, I'm the man in this relationship. Like, you're not the man, I'm the man. And I got up to walk away, like in the middle of this, little, I don't know what to call it. Like, it's hard to even call it a conflict. It's just like a little tussle, so to speak. I talk about tussling a lot. And I get up to walk away from him, and finally his like deeper like anger comes out, his intensity, and he comes after me and he picks me up and he slams me against the wall with like my legs straddled around him and is in my face and is like, who's the man now? And immediately my whole energy just completely shifted. And I dropped right back into my body, my submission, my heart. And I just like so much desire and like respect, and totally shifted the vibe between us.
I would have called that a conflict.
Okay. So yeah.
And she stormed off. And then, but after I did that, you smiled instantaneously. She like couldn't help herself from smiling. I was like, oh, it worked.
Yeah. That like when you spoke to tussling earlier, like in a previous conversation, that was like exactly kind of what happened there. Is that like you turned the chaos of the feminine into like a playful, powerful.
Yeah, it's like transmutating. It's like transmuting the energy through his dominance ultimately.
Yeah, it's containment.